know if you can see me. I can't see any comments right now. Not sure how this works. I don't normally do live streams like this on my phone. Can you see me? Where are the comments? I don't know. Let's see. Live chat. Okay, anyone in here? I hope you are. It feels like I'm very, very far away from home. But I'm hoping that someone will be here. Yes, amazing. The comments are coming in. Thank you so, so much. I have a bit of spare time in my schedule and I thought I would hop on here. Hopefully this will work. But I am in Sierra Leone. As I said, I'm on board a hospital ship. So this is very, very different from the normal kinds of trips that I take. But I can see your comments coming in there. So that is amazing. Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to do my best to answer a few questions. I can't do the things I normally do and put questions on the screen and stuff like that. So I will just see some questions and I will answer them if that is okay. I see people asking, how is Sierra Leone? It is very, very different from any place I've ever been to before. I have had the opportunity to meet patients on this ship, which has been lovely. We've been out a bit today, we've been to the market. So that has been really, really lovely, really lovely. So what this ship does, it's called Global Mercy. It's a charity ship and it is full of volunteers, volunteer surgeons, volunteer bakers, volunteer everything. And they are currently in Sierra Leone. They have another ship too, and they are offering surgical care to people that need it, that have no other way to get it. Stephen asks, how are you? I am good. It has been a week. It has been a week. I feel like I'm sort of just I'm going to process most of this later. I feel like I'm here to capture everything, but it has been fantastic. Fantastic. I've now lost the comments. Okay. Okay. If you do have a question and you can start it with question in capital letters, that just increases the chance I'll be able to see it because I'm looking at a very small phone over there. But I am in my cabin on board the Global Mercy, which is very, very exciting. Thank you. Thank you. Nice to see you all. Yeah, it's very hot in Sierra Leone. It's maybe 30 degrees. It's great air conditioning in here, though. It's very, very nice. The ship has fantastic air conditioning. So it's really interesting for me to be on a ship like this because there's so many things that are familiar. You know, this cabin feels very familiar. The toilets are the same as they are on cruise ships, but there's 6 operating rooms on here. They're doing a lot of surgeries. I just saw a question that said, what other jobs are there other than medical? There is everything. You know, there are people who are doing carpentry. There are people who are cooking. There's everything that you need on a ship. There's people in, you know, reception desk and people doing all the finances and people doing the money and all of that kind of stuff. There's everything. I think last time I saw it, it said 50% of the volunteers on here are not medical. There's like 500 volunteers on here, which is crazy. And it's not just people who come here and volunteer for, you know, 2 weeks or a month. People are on here for 2 years. Some people I've met have been on not this ship for decades, but they've been on ships for decades, which is mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-blowing. There's kids on here. You know, I knew there were some kids on here, but I think they said there's 70 in total. So they have a school. I've been to the school. I've seen the, you know, primary school classrooms and secondary school. Very, very interesting. You wouldn't know that it was on a ship. Is this ship an old cruise ship? No, this is a purpose-built hospital ship, this one. Their other ship that they have that's in Madagascar, that one was converted. I believe it was a ferry, but this was purpose-built as a hospital ship. So they had that from the beginning. They planned their school, they planned their operating rooms, they planned where the CT scanner was going to be, all of that kind of stuff. Oh, I see a comment that just said, just got my Mercy ship acceptance. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I've managed to meet so many different volunteers on here. There's, I think, 60 nationalities on this ship. People from all over the world. How old is the ship? Not very old, couple of years old. Yeah, she's spanking new. Like, she's beautiful. When I'm in the buffet, not that it's, well, it is a buffet, the sort of main dining room on board for everybody, I think a cruise ship would be proud of this. Like, to be honest, it looks really, really nice. And so there's little, you know, lounges around, like a little shop, a little, like a little bar. Yeah, it's like a very, very small city on here, which is really cool. How do we collaborate on missions? I mean, Mercy Ship's website, that's where they have all the jobs and they put up, you know, what volunteers they need. For me, we are selling Captain Hudson. If you can see him here, the profits from these toys have always gone to Mercy Ships. So we've raised 104,000 so far. which is why I'm here. You know, I want to continue the fundraising. But yes, we do have some of version 5. This is Hudson's bed. That's my bed over there. So if you go to my website, maybe someone can share the link. I'm not sure, I can't see. All that money goes to Mercy Ships, so that would be amazing. They actually have a Captain Hudson photo booth on here so that the volunteers can take pictures with Captain Hudson, which is so cute. And I see the kids, you know, it's really nice for me because sort of I feel like I deal with more the business side. I just get messages from someone's chasing their delivery, or I see that kind of side of it, right? I don't really see kids playing with Captain Hudson so much. So that's been really, really nice to see, yes. I actually got to see an operation happening, which, apart from the fact that this is on a ship, I've never seen an operation. I've never really been, you can't just go into a hospital and have it peer through a door, right? But we got all gowned up and the hats and the shoes and everything. And that was really, really cool, really cool. So yesterday, we spent some time, they have a little deck and the patients go out there when they're sort of recovering. So we got to play, you know, different games, like games that don't need language really. So, you know, Jenga, Connect 4, that kind of thing. And there were kids there, you know, like riding around on their bikes after they've had their surgeries, and yeah, they're doing amazing work. How many Hudsons have you brought along? I think there's about 75 on here, which is crazy, crazy to think about. I see him all over the ship, which is so cool. I don't know if you remember, but it was the last version, version 4. I gave people the option basically to, you know, get one yourself, or if you don't need another one, you can send them to Mercy Ships. So that is what we did. Yeah, I see my mum in the chat. Hello to my mum. It is nice to see you. Nice to see you. But yes, this trip has been, I mean, life-changing is not the words at all. Is there a library? There's not a library, but there is a school with a lot of books in it, so they probably would fit in there. That is true. That is true. I hadn't thought about that. But yes, I am not here for 2 years. I'm only here for the week. It actually took us 21 hours of travel to get here, but it's in the same time zone as the UK, which is really interesting. Really handy, for sure. I also love how big this bottle is. I don't know if any of you remember, but I recently took a river cruise, and they gave us a bottle that was, I don't know, 300 mils maybe? But this is a litre. This is great. We all have this on us at all times. And it's really, really, really good because it is hot. It is hot here. So yes, if you do have a question, if you can keep it short, I have a really small phone here and I can't really read it and I don't want to stop and sort of scroll through. That just increases the chances that I'll be able to answer it. They do community reach out anyway away from the ship? Yes, so the fact that they get people on board and they do surgeries is the tip of the iceberg. That's kind of what I knew about before I came here. But they are doing all kinds of things like trainings on land. They're basically trying to make it so that in a very, very dream distant future, Mercy Ships wouldn't be needed here, is what they would like. So they're trying to make things better on land. Obviously, there's certain things they do a lot of here. You know, they do things like cataract surgeries. They do things like if you have burns, you know, some people they've got a burn and their arm is just stuck in that position or stuck like this. Something that if you were, well, at least in the UK, that's where I'm from, you would have that fixed. You wouldn't even think twice about it. But here there is just there's no other option. There is no option. This is the last resort. And Mercy Ship's tagline really is bringing hope and healing. And like, that sums it up. That sums it up for sure. Do they have a theatre or any entertainment venues? They don't have a theatre. They have, you know, a really big, it's almost like a massive conference room. I don't really know how to describe it. And there's entertainment, but it's things like the kids on here put a nativity together. So the patients came to watch the nativity, the ones that were well enough to do that, and we watched that. So there's entertainment like that, like stuff is constantly happening. There's not like a production crew, of course. Everyone on here is doing a job for the aim of, you know, all the things that they're doing on land and the surgeries that they're doing on here. It's not a cruise, of course it's not, but definitely don't need entertaining anymore. I'm busy, which is so good. I need to cough. I apologize. It's very dusty in Sierra Leone, like very dry. Well, it's very humid at the same time, but it's dusty. So we went to a market today. It's really interesting because Sierra Leone is not. I don't know anyone in the UK who's been to Sierra Leone. It's not like you go to a travel agent and then they would recommend Sierra Leone necessarily. But it's really nice to be here. Really nice to be here. Humid dust is the worst. Yeah, the dry season. Yeah. It is the dry season for sure. I think this is working okay. I wasn't sure, how well the Wi-Fi would do, but I think this is holding up okay. Is this holding up all right? Yeah, you were happy that it was not hot enough in the UK, and now it's too hot in Sierra Leone. Yeah, yeah, for sure. The ideal temperature is between 20 and 25 degrees Celsius. So until we're in that range, Wi-Fi seems good. Yes, I mean, people are on here for 2 years. People raise their kids on here. There's families who have, 3 kids in the school. Maybe mum's a teacher, dad's something else. I don't know, but the whole family is on here. So glad they brought to Captain Hudson. Yes, really, for me, that is why I came all the way to Sierra Leone, is because for the last 2 years, maybe, I've kind of been like, guys, trust me, this is a thing. And it is a thing, but I wanted to show you that it really is a thing. And I have learned so much. There's so much in my brain. I'm already thinking about how I'm going to put the videos together. And, I've got quite a mix of ship stuff. I'm going to do sort of a cabin tour the same way as I normally would. But of course, I also have things we've done on land that you would never normally do. This is not a normal excursion kind of thing. And then there's the whole hospital part and the patients and, singing songs with them and all of that kind of stuff. So hopefully it'll be an interesting video for you. I hope so. Why aren't you wearing a uniform? Because I don't have any medical training. I don't have any medical training. So the way it works here is when a ship shows up, like this ship, they already know what surgeries they're going to do. They know who they have. And they have 6 operating rooms. So I think they said something like maybe 5 operations per room or something. So a lot of people come through. I'm not sure on the exact stats. You have to talk to the hospital about that. But they've done, I think, this ship 2,000 surgeries. And it's things that not just save people's lives. I mean, they do save people's lives who are going to die, no question about it. But they also give people their lives back because they can go back to work. They have function. We've seen a lot of the rehab rooms and things where for the kids, they'll learn to, build back up. It's hard to imagine that you've, for the first time in your life, got legs that are straight and you need to learn to walk again. But that's sort of what they're dealing with on here. But it is amazing. It is, yeah. Oh, it is amazing. Well, everyone here is very grateful. I see a comment that says, if people started singing to me in the hospital, I'd pull the plug. I mean, fine. But the people here are so grateful. It is so nice. I can't imagine, if you have a child that needs medical care and you try everything and you can't get it, you can't even, yeah. So they're very grateful. They're very nice, very nice. The thing is, it's not just like the patients that are grateful. As soon as we got off the plane, I mean, the journey from the plane was almost as long as the whole plane journey. But as soon as we got off, people would, because we had the Mercy Ships t-shirts on, so people would say, oh, I know someone who was on there. Thank you for what you do. That kind of stuff. So yeah, from the moment we touched down, really, you could tell. Even like in the airport, they'll send us to the front of the queue for immigration and things, because Mercy Ships has a deal with Sierra Leone, make it easier for people to come here, which is very appreciated for sure. Right, so I'm gonna do this live stream until 5:30. I'm going to make this a bit shorter today because this is my gap in my schedule. Hopefully, it's just nice to show you that this is real. I can't show you too much. If I spin around, the Wi-Fi will probably go a bit funny. But yeah, same time zone as the UK, which is so bizarre because it took us, 8 hours of flying, 21-hour journey in total, and it's in the same time zone. It is straight down. It is literally going straight down. So I knew nothing about Sierra Leone before I came here. Nothing. Nothing. I couldn't have put it on a map, I don't think. Rough area maybe, but It's not a place that I know a lot about. But this is the kind of thing, I mean, you can volunteer on here, but you can't. Well, you could come on holiday to Sierra Leone by yourself, but you'd need a driver or a tour guide or someone to look after you, because you couldn't just drive around here as someone from the UK. So when I got the invite to come on this trip, at first I thought Sierra Leone, like, I have no idea what you need to go to Sierra Leone in terms of, I'm thinking bugs, vaccines, all that kind of stuff. Where is it? How do I get there? But I just thought, this is not an opportunity you want to miss. I don't know anyone who would regret doing something like this. I've never heard of anything like that. Anyway, does the ship remain docked for medical treatment? Yeah, it doesn't really sail very much. It pretty much stops somewhere for 10 months and then sails off for maintenance, that kind of thing. But yeah, you can't really do things like surgery, like eye surgery, when you're sailing. And why would you want to? So Sierra Leone, they're very happy to have Mercy ships here. They're obviously losing a bit of dock space, but it works well. How well is the ship decorated? Is it just nice or functional and not very pretty? It is very pretty. Like the buffet area. I'll show you the buffet sometime. I think that would be on a cruise ship. I would say this is a nice buffet. It is nice. It's really strange to go through the doors into the hospital and it feels like you're in a hospital. It's very decorated for Christmas. Everyone's been making their own Christmas decorations. The patients have been, making decorations and things. So it's really very festive, very festive. But it just feels like a normal hospital, apart from with portholes instead of windows. So that's interesting. But yeah, they've made a real effort to make it nice. I mean, people live on here for years, so it's in everyone's interest to make this a nice place to be, right? So, but yeah, I'll show you. I'm gonna do sort of my normal story style video, obviously talking about the ship, about the destination, about what Mercy ships do. It's tricky to get across, but I'm going to do my best. Did Captain Hudson pull rank on this ship and start bossing other people around? He is everywhere, Captain Hudson, on this ship. So there's a Captain Hudson photo booth where the staff can take pictures. I say staff, but they're all volunteers. That's the thing. I sort of knew that when I first heard of Mercy ships, I thought, volunteer doctors, volunteer surgeons, I don't know, all the jobs that there are in hospitals. I could kind of get my head around that. But every stage, there's so much that goes into a patient's journey before they come here, once they go home, there's so much work done on land. Yeah, and everyone's a volunteer. Like the teachers who are teaching the kids who live on here, they're, American or Scottish or from Australia or from Netherlands, all over the world. Yeah, with heat and humidity, going in and out of air conditioning can choke you up. Yeah, the air is very heavy outside, if that makes any sense. But the air conditioning in here is fantastic, very fantastic. It's a really nice cabin I have, but then there are, cabins for couples, cabins for two people who aren't a couple. There's cabins for families on here. There's everything. They've thought about it very well. There's a fridge. There's all the things you'd normally find in a cruise ship cabin. How long do patients usually spend on the ships? That's a great question, Emily. Depends really on what surgery they're having and how that goes. So they do have people who are on here for a long time, like multiple months. If say you're doing they do a lot of like facial surgery, like reconstructive surgery and things, and you have to wait for some things. You can't, you make it worse if you try and do more surgeries. So some people are on, in for a cataract, stay a night, 2 nights maybe, and then go home, and that's it. And then other people are here for longer, but they're here for as long as they need to be here once they are here. But they organize things very well. I don't know how I thought that they would organize things, but they do things in batches. We have all these kids with cataracts, and we'll do them all at the same time and get them done. So I'm only here for a week, so I'm on what is called a vision trip. So normally for, if you work for Mercy ships or something like that, I'm here because of the £104,000 that Captain Hudson has raised, thanks to you, thanks to the maybe 7,000 people that have bought Captain Hudson's. So this is to give me a better idea and to create, content to hopefully reach as many people as possible. So I'm going to try my best to sort of make it's tricky because it is familiar but different as well. So I'm going to try and explain it in ways that the shipping world, people who watch my channel can understand, but just with something new. So hopefully that'll be interesting. I've got so many ideas in my mind already. But yeah, I mean, this is a cabin. It is the same as a cruise ship cabin. The door is the same. The walls are magnetic. You know, it's very familiar to me. I'm with people who don't go on ships, so they're sort of not used to. Sometimes you get like background noise on ships. It's fine. I don't hear any shipping noise. I'm very used to it. I have a window. Like this is for me. This is nicer than a lot of cruise ships I stay in, for sure, definitely. But it needs to be because if they, you know, you need to look after the volunteers because if you don't have volunteers, then you're not going to do anything. So it makes sense. Yeah. No, it's really, really nice. Really, really nice. I'm hoping I can do it justice. What is the most life-changing surgery you've learned about? Or, oh, it's so tricky because they have a lot of things that we would, in the UK, fix very, very soon. You know, if you have legs that go inward or outward, we would straighten your legs. But here, people grow to 10 years old or something, and then they have to break and re-straighten the legs and then teach someone to walk. But by doing that, you know, you're giving someone not just straight legs, but you're giving them the chance to have a normal job, to have a normal life from that point. So they do a lot of things like that. They do things like removing tumors. You know, there's people who have a tumor that is making them, you know, they're going to lose their eye, things like that. They're going to stop breathing because it's choking them. And doing something like that, like, it's normally just one surgery, but yeah, it's crazy, crazy. Some people saying Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas. It is really sort of, it's very Christmassy on board, but it's hard to, for me to feel Christmassy when it's so hot because, yeah, things like cleft palates, stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it doesn't take. It's interesting because you know we can sell Captain Hudson's, and it doesn't take very many Captain Hudson's to fix a child's cataracts, for example, which is making them go blind, and you've given someone their entire life for what is like 10 toy cats, which is just crazy. It is crazy. Yeah, it's really, yeah, it's a lot. I feel like I have a very busy schedule, lots of things to see. I really want to do everything while I'm here as I've come all this way, but I'm kind of putting things in my brain and thinking like, I'll process that later. I'm not sure if that's a healthy thing to do, but it is the way. It is the way for sure. Yeah, they can go back to their communities and not feel like everyone is looking at them. Yes, it's been really nice to spend some time with the kids here because, you know, they're so clever. They speak so many languages, and they just want to do the things that all the other kids are doing. That's the main thing, and they don't want anyone to pick on them because they're different. So yeah, primary language on the ship is English. Yes, it is an English-speaking ship. They do have people they have a lot of people from Sierra Leone on this ship, sort of day crew, who translate things to people because it would be very scary if you've never been on a ship like this, you've never been to a hospital, and suddenly these people are telling you things. You need someone there who understands their culture, right? Not just to translate, but to sort of explain. So they have a lot of people, local people, who come on and do that kind of role, which is really, really, really nice for sure. But yeah, the kids, it's so funny how many languages they speak. I'm so impressed, so impressed. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's multiple languages spoken by the crew. The crew are from all over the world. The volunteers, I should say, not the crew, although they are the crew. But English is the spoken language. You know, if you go in the dining room, the menu is in English. The safety information, everything around the ship, that is all in English. Yeah. Interesting comments. Thank you so much, everybody. Yeah, I've learned so much about Sierra Leone for sure. Oh, yeah, no, it's really nice for me to. I feel like I have lots of different hats in my business, because I obviously, review cruises is sort of the main thing people know me for on the internet. But I do my work with Mercy ships. I have the cruise maps. We have Captain Hudson. So yeah, it's really, really nice for me for sure. But it is going to be. I have to admit, it's going to be very tricky when I've seen things like this, and then I go back And, like I'll be on a cruise sometimes and someone will say to me, Emma, my fridge didn't work. What are you going to do about it? And I'm like, I'm not going to do anything. It's not my job. But yes, when people bring me some problems that they didn't fix themselves, I just think, how lucky are you? Honestly, how lucky are you? But no, they don't just operate on children. They do plenty of adults. I haven't handed out any Captain Hudsons yet. I think it's on the schedule, but not yet. But they're all over the ship. They're everywhere. So the flight over, we flew via Brussels. So that was only an hour to Brussels and then 7 hours down here. Once we got down, that journey from the airport is almost as long as the other bit, but we did make it, which is really cool. It makes me very grateful for things too, for sure. I'm absolutely not doing any nursing or any medical care. I have no qualifications, and you do need the normal qualifications to volunteer on here. No, I don't have any skills. I'm in the communications team for the week. That's what my official job is. And I'm communicating with you, right? I've been on the radio, which is cool. I'm just trying to sort of spread the word about Mercy Ships. And for me, it's twofold. One, spread the word about Mercy Ships. Two, thank everybody for the donations that we've made. And we're gonna carry on, for sure we are. So we do still have some of Captain Hudson version 5 available. All the money from those goes to Mercy Ships, and once we have the rest of those sold, I'll be able to make another donation. So I'm hoping that'll be another maybe 25,000, which is crazy to think about. That is like Captain Hudson has run the hospital for like 2 weeks himself. Crazy, 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 crazy. But yes, I'm on the marketing team. Yeah, I mean, it's not a difficult, it's just sort of, it's just showing it. No one can say that that's not a good thing to do, right? To save someone's life. But yeah, it blows my mind that for me, it's really the volunteers. And speaking to people, everyone has such an interesting story. They've been, oh, I was a teacher in the US and I decided I wanted to change. So I sold my house and I moved to Sierra Leone. And they stay for years. Just, yeah, unbelievable. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm so glad I got to visit to as I said, this is I've never considered coming to Sierra Leone before. So it was a great opportunity. Yeah, please don't forget to like the live stream. Yes, if you can, that would be absolutely amazing. I think this is working all right. I'm going to have to head off in a minute. So if you have any quick questions, please get them in. But I have a busy schedule, some Christmassy things later, and some things with patients. Thank you so much for people saying that you're proud of me. I mean, it feels really weird when people thank me for the money raised by Captain Hudson, because I mean, I bought a few Captain Hudsons, but I didn't, it's the work of 7,000 people. So I want to thank you all for that. Yeah, but I'm organizing all of this, of course. Yes. Mercy Ships have a YouTube channel. Yes, they have a lot of before and after stories, which are really, really sweet. Make sure you're in a place where you can cry, because they're so lovely. They're so lovely. But yeah, I've been able to spend time with patients, which has been really, really nice. It is amazing that you don't even really need a common language to just play a game with someone. Or the little kids are like want to do high fives and play games and stuff. And what a 18-month-old, it doesn't matter what language they speak, they don't speak language. So yeah. Oh, my dad and my mum are so proud of you. Thank you very much. The idea came from me, says my mum. It did. That is true. Is the room larger than on a regular ship? Yeah, I think this is larger for sure. It's a really nice room. I don't know if I don't want the Wi-Fi to go off, but I'll try and spin a little bit. There you go. I got a seating area. I got a window. It's so bright out there, you can't see anything. Got 2 beds, one for me, one for Captain Hudson's. I got my bathroom there. It's very similar to a cruise ship bathroom. Like, if that was on a cruise ship, I'd say this is a fair-sized bathroom, for sure. All right, I'm going to head off. I'm very, very glad that this has worked. Just want to say thank you. Just want to spread the word. And yeah, please make sure I have your email address. Just go to emmacruises.com/news, because then I can tell you when the content is ready. And look out for it, because I really hope it'll be interesting. I think so. I think this is the most interesting thing I've ever done in my life. So we'll end on that note. How do I end a live stream on my phone? I'm not sure. I'm going to try. All right. Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye.